This time, I want to talk about a crime in China that I consider to be the most frightening, and something I would like to see preventive measures against before it spreads to Japan. In fact, it may have already started to spread. The topic is about child abduction and human trafficking in China. First, please take a look at this article. It reports on a case where the perpetrator of child abduction and human trafficking was sentenced to death in court. This incident took place on October 25 in a court in Guizhou province and has drawn significant attention across China, receiving widespread media coverage. Let me introduce the case briefly. The individual sentenced to death this time is a woman, and if we look into the background of her trial, it's absolutely appalling. She's truly deserving of the death sentence. She has abducted multiple children, transporting them to distant places. Specifically, she would take them to the city of Jiantan in Hebei province. There, she would sell the children through brokers engaged in human trafficking. Some of her crimes were uncovered, including a child abduction incident in 2002, which led to a death sentence. However, she appealed the sentence, claiming it was too severe. In China, just as in Japan, appeals are permitted, and while she was appealing, other crimes she committed came to light. Eventually, it was revealed that she had abducted a total of 17 children, though this may not be the full extent of her crimes. From 1993 to 2003, for about a decade, she repeatedly committed these heinous crimes. And she didn't act alone. I'll touch on this later, but she collaborated with others in these acts. It's possible that there are many more victims. During her trial, new crimes were revealed, leading to her final death sentence. Public opinion is outraged by the appeal, with netizens saying it's absurd to claim the death penalty is too severe for such heinous crimes. The perpetrator admitted to the crimes but insisted that the death penalty was excessive. Furthermore, she carried out these crimes not only in Guizhou province but also in regions across southern inland China, such as Sichuan and Yunnan. She would kidnap children in these areas and take them to Hebei province in the north, indicating a vast trafficking network. It's hard to imagine being able to engage in human trafficking across such vast distances without connections. This network is deeply embedded within China, and unless it's thoroughly dismantled, such crimes will continue. Even if some perpetrators are caught and sentenced to death, the majority of criminals remain unapprehended. In China, incidents of children going missing are alarmingly common. For example, there was a recent case of a chained woman in a human trafficking incident, which exposed the horrifying realities of these crimes and became a huge scandal. The Chinese government publicizes cases like this to give the impression they're taking action, but it's clear they have their own issues. This is a crime so horrific that it leaves the families of the victims traumatized, sometimes leading to lifelong suffering and even suicide. When we think about what this means for Japan, it's terrifying. Recently, there was the desecration incident at Yasukuni Shrine, where a Chinese national with a criminal record managed to enter Japan, commit the crime, and flee back to China. Although Japan has systems to prevent individuals with criminal records from entering, these safeguards seem to be failing. Japanese authorities need to be stricter when screening foreign entrants. Many people entering Japan may escape background checks due to the high volume of incoming individuals, allowing those with criminal records to enter unchecked. In Japan, people generally don't have strong awareness or concerns about child abduction, largely because it's been a safe country until now. However, the recent spate of robberies coordinated via social media has highlighted vulnerabilities that weren't previously acknowledged. Japan's system is simply not designed to counter such threats. The houses aren't built with security in mind, and people don't expect to become crime victims. But if criminals with more serious intentions start entering the country, the damage could be severe. Japan should tighten its immigration policies to prevent entry to potential offenders and consider enforcing stricter penalties, even the death penalty, for crimes like human trafficking and child abduction to protect the public. It's crucial to address these issues before it's too late. I hope this awareness will spread widely, and with that, we'll conclude today's discussion. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to focus on in this translation.